Welcome to the number of the day. It is Monday, the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you, but we're looking at the 6th, right? Which is when prices go up. And we had to do the diesel price, Melissa, which is reaching an all-time high of 32 Rand 30 cents. So it's never been above 30 Rand. Some people would actually be relieved. There was talk it could head to 40, but this is huge for this economy, and it compounds the increase that we already saw in April.
Exactly. And I think also with the petrol price going up, more worrisomely with the diesel prices, obviously our food prices will be inflated. I think we've been protected to some extent, but we might be seeing those food price increases coming in very fast at this point. And I think we're already in such a stressed environment. I know a lot of economists said at the beginning of the year, the Rand was trading amazingly.
I know, Petrol, it was so good.
It looked so good. And 2026 really looked to be our year. We saw some economic recovery. We saw great Rand dollar exchange rates. Our petrol and diesel prices were all very reasonable.
The market was flying.
Exactly. We were hitting all those record highs, the good ones in this case. And now suddenly we are looking at a very different picture to what we've had at the beginning of the year.
So fuel prices, petrol prices aren't reaching a record high, which
Not
is
yet.
interesting. Not yet, but very close. So on the 6th of May, 95 unleaded. I like looking at 95 inland just because it's the most expensive, because it's got to be transported from the coast inland. 26 Rand 63. That is very close to what we saw in July of 2022, which was 26 Rand 74. So just a few cents away. That was the fallout from Russia invading Ukraine, which is interesting. So that pushed up prices very quickly. But then I was looking at it and prices came down quickly after that. The whole point of the war in the Middle East is that people are saying, how long will it take for things to normalize, given the infrastructural damage to energy infrastructure across the Gulf, especially if this war continues. And you said we could see it in food prices. So last week, Investec was telling us that they are seeing companies paying more upfront for goods and waiting for longer because a whole lot of transport is affected. Unilever was warning about price increases coming. Now, Unilever looks after Dove, Lux, Omo, Sunlight Liquid.
And Knorr's.
Knorr's soup.
Just before winter hits, we need our soup.
How are we all going to survive? But no, I think we're going to feel it in the shops very soon.
I think another interesting, or not interesting, also very worrying number is the fact that I think paraffin is going up between 4 Rand and 5 Rand 50, depending on how much you buy and where you buy it. And paraffin is sort of the product that's being used by our most poorest of communities to cook food and all that. And I do think, even though it's not necessarily our place to ask people such things, but I do think this is a time where, rather than trying to act with, trying to keep all your ducks close to you, reach out to the people close to you. For example, reach out to a gardener, reach out to the person people who work for you and ask them, just how much more are you paying for certain services? See where you can help out. I'm not saying cover the entire increase. It's not always feasible for everybody, but find out, because, for example, as our colleagues have told us as well, taxi prices are going up tremendously, and it's always obviously depending on which route you use.
Sure.
But do reach out and find out, because I think at this point in time, we all need a bit of empathy to weather out the storm.
Yeah, and I mean, even for professionals, I think it was the IMF suggesting stay at home when you can and don't drive if you don't need to. So maybe even companies will start talking again. Everyone's just moved back to the office, right? And now maybe there'll be some more days at home. But I like what you're saying. And just to end it also on the sad part of this is that food prices were coming down. And then the Peter Maritzburg group that tracks food prices said between March and April, suddenly we saw an increase. So already there is something. And of course it'll affect the poorest of the poor first, because they spend more of their salaries on food. So Yeah, we are the bearers of bad news, but we knew it was coming. In a way, it's a little bit worse than just the oil price and the rand had suggested, because the slate levy is also coming into play. But we now have the increases for the 6th of May, taking diesel to 32.30 Rand. What is that increase? 6.19 Rand per litre for diesel. And then for petrol, 3.27 Rand, taking petrol up to 26 Rand 63.95 unleaded petrol inland from next Wednesday.